To the Canadian Starships live stream tonight. First order of business, round 2. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Leave a comment in the comment section. If you can hear me now, can you hear me now? 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 I'm not sure you can hear me now. Oh, yes, you can see me and you can hear me. Perfect. Well, welcome everybody to the show. My microphone was turned off. That's why you couldn't hear me. We are here getting a whole bunch of work, well, hopefully a whole bunch of work done on the 650 scale Enterprise D, not the one that's right here behind me. That one is sitting pretty on the bench right now. The paint is getting a really good amount of time to cure up there before I do any additional work, but we're going to be working on the second of the two Enterprise Ds tonight, trying to see what work we can get done, and I am leaving comments on the screen. That's what happens when I'm alone here. Let's see. So we've gotten past the no sound. Shark is here. Welcome, Shark, to the live stream. Ian is here, and apparently here he hears me too much. Okay. Maybe that's just because I am being loud. Let's see who else is here. That seems to be everybody who's here at the moment. Yeah. All right. There we go. So we are going to be getting work done on this 650 scale Enterprise Ds. Again, not the nice one that's sitting pretty here. We're going to be working on others. We might do some solar res glass tonight. Try to see if we can make the observation windows for the second one, and maybe get some lighting installed. I've just charged up my the battery for my UV flashlight so that we can get some solar res stuff done. So we will see what we can get here. Let's see. I heard you now like 8 times. Classic. Okay. I don't know what that means, but we are clearly good to go. So I'm here with my tea Earl Grey hot, and we are going to get right into it. So I have, let's see, what do I have here? I need to go get, actually, why don't we start off the night? Best sound check. Let's see. Shark says, hi Ian, hope you're feeling better. And Ian says, best sound check ever. And Ian says, still coughing up a lung over here. Well, that is no good. Yeah, that's not exactly what we would like to see. I'm going to go grab a part, and I can continue talking while I go grab set part. It's just been sat over drying because I got some primer down on it earlier today, and that is a secondary hull part, which I will switch cameras over there for you so that you can have a look here. So we are on secondary hull, and I can de-tape this. Oh, you know what? I set up the secondary camera as a secondary StreamYard feed, but that means that I can't do the picture-in-picture. So let me see if I can do more than one thing at a time here. One moment while I see if I can re-add an input. That's not what I want. I want... Let's see if it... No. It will not let me do 2 things at the same time. So I am going to go back to my old-fashioned way of doing this, but it was a good test run to see that I could do it. Let's see. Let's leave the second studio. That's done. Now let's add the camera back to my streaming software. One moment, please. Elgato Virtual Camera is back. and which means I can go to it here, and I can put my face up here in the corner. There we go, so that you can see my face and you can see what I'm working on. All right, so I got primer down on the upper secondary hull part today. We're going to start by installing. We're going to do two things. We're going to install the LEDs for the impulse engines. We are also going to solar res over the LEDs that are installed into the deflector dish on this. So that is what we are going to get started with here. Ian says, looking forward to seeing some more 650 progress. Andrew, I am looking forward to getting more 650 progress done. Steven says, hope you get better soon, Ian, as do we all. All right. So I've got LEDs installed. They are masked off right now because I just put the primer down, but I can remove this mask, revealing the LEDs in there, and then we are going to fill this in with solar res and give it a shot of UV. That way, it is going to be nicely sealed in, although seems to be a little bit of debris on here. I'm not sure what that's from. I don't know if you can see the debris on camera there. I'm not entirely certain what that is. Oh, well, at least that part is covered with the deflector dish, and it's not going to be a last-minute LED test. I can do a last-minute LED test if you think that that would be wise for me to do. Sure. Because Ian says last-minute LED test, and Shark says don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Well, that would be very much appreciated. All right, you want a last-minute LED check? We can arrange a last-minute LED check. All right. Let's get some power to the Raspberry Pi. Just moving some stuff around so I can plug this in to get some power. And we need some power for the LEDs themselves. So let's get that plugged in. Now, actually, no, these will. Let's try that again. These will actually glow the correct color, because the first 4 LEDs on the programming are chiller grills, so they are blue. So we will get the correct color on the test. Let's see. This green is the outgoing data, so we want the incoming data. Actually, I can wires working around the stuff. I can put the breadboard right there in the ship. We'll put the data in here. And then we've got ground. And no, this stream is not sponsored by Ground News, like every other YouTuber out there. And we've got 4 lights. There are 4 lights. There we go. And Ian said, just to be safe. Yeah, no, that is quite fair. And we've got that going there. The only thing is I now have to log in to the Wi-Fi in order to turn off the Raspberry Pi, because I don't have a switch attached to it to turn it off. So I have to go into the user interface. And go to options and shut down. Yes, shut down now. And that turns the lights off. And in about 30 seconds, I can unplug the Raspberry Pi, just so that I want to make sure that I'm shutting everything down safely, because we don't want to corrupt anything with an unsafe shutdown. Anybody remember parking their computers? Parking your hard drives before you shut them down? I guess it's kind of the same thing. All right, that should be long enough. We can just unpower that now. And Ian says, nice. Ian also says, before you cocoon them in resin. Yeah, definitely fair. So we've tested that. They are good to go. No problems there. So how's everybody doing tonight? What are you guys up to while you're watching tonight? Let's see. Shark says, will there be a Borg mode in this Enterprise? There will likely be Borg mode by the time all these are done, because it's just a little bit of programming, right? I mean, it's just a little bit of, it basically is just setting up the selection in a scene. So it's not very difficult to do. And the nice thing is the clients can decide what kind of programming they want. I'm going to put a couple dabs of SolarRes in between the chips. We'll let it settle out a little bit, and then hit it with the UV. Kind of just make sure that if there are any leaks, that they are being sealed up. And I know that people are chatting. I can't see what they're chatting because I don't have my glasses on right now. So just bear with me until I get my glasses back on so I can see what you are all saying. So we'll just put a nice bit of SolarRes in there and cure it up. And if you're looking at the description, no, this is not the SolarRes glass. We're just sealing in these LEDs and providing a good surface for the deflector dish to be mounted to in front of these LEDs. That should be lots. Yep. And it is nice and cured up there. There we go. Job 1 is done. Ken says he's working on his Reliant. That's awesome. And Keith says, watching Game 5 of the Cup Finals. What's the score? Make sure you update us on the score. What is it? Who's winning? All right, I need my... Oh, it could be a challenge to find here. I need my pin vise. Where is my pin vise? It's right here. Found it in pretty much exactly where it's supposed to be. So let me go grab the LEDs that are going in the impulse engine. They're over on another desk. And I suppose I should just test to make sure that those ones are running properly as well. Shouldn't I? I probably should. I guess I can test these before I install them into the ship. And we have an Ian popping in.
Hey,
this stream is rated E for everyone.
yeah, I thought I would just help out with highlighting comments.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
Let's
So what are
see.
you up to tonight?
Nothing. I just uploaded a U-96 U-boat video from
Okay.
Hachette. And I'm just waiting for the wife and my mother-in-law to fly home from Jersey for her brother's 30th birthday. They went to the Mets game at Citi Field. They got a luxury box with a bunch of friends and family.
Sorry, which kind of sports ball is Mets?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
That's what I thought,
baseball.
but I'm not really knowledgeable enough to be sure. So
Don't worry. I know barely more than you about sports.
I figured it was either baseball or basketball. I was kind of airing on.
Well, you're very close because the Nets are basketball and the Mets are baseball.
Yeah.
So it's just one letter, and they're right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're coming home. They had the luxury box though, the suite. So they had like a buffet and
Oh,
a
sweet.
wet bar and a fridge and comfy padded chairs, not like your standard stadium seating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they put up happy birthday on the Jumbotron.
Sorry, whose birthday was it?
It was my brother-in-law's 30th
Okay.
birthday. So yeah, my wife's little brother.
Younger brother.
Yes. And KC Keith said 2-0 Florida, whatever that means.
Oh, that's not good.
Is that hockey?
It is.
How does Florida beat Canada at hockey?
Well, it helps if most of your American teams have Canadian players.
Yeah, I suppose Canadian or Eastern European or etc. I think the New Jersey Devils had like a Russian guy that was pretty good back in the day, like 10, 15 years ago. One of Tony's friends dated a New Jersey Devils hockey player, like one of their stars. And I always called her Teflon.
So Keith, what's the standings right now? Who's up by what? Not the score of the game, but is the series standing? I'm a Canadian. I should be up on this a little bit more.
Oh, Ricardo's got jokes, Andrew. You want to see this one? Look at this. Next thing you know, there will be a Haitian team beating Canada in curling. I don't think so, Ricardo. That was a really good joke, but dear God, curling.
I mean, who knows? There's always the Jamaican bobsled team. So,
well, yeah, there's that. I watched a 1-hour documentary on making the curling stones. It was very interesting.
Oh yeah,
not as interesting as watching you build the Enterprise 650.
I am struggling a little bit to get the holes for the wires into the impulse engine this time, and I'm not sure why.
Uh-oh. Dull drill bit?
I don't remember it being a hassle on the other one.
Okay.
But,
Casey said series tied 2-2.
Series tied 2-2. Okay, that's not too bad. So they've got to go at least to game 6.
Was it best out of 7?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 out of 4. There's still a chance.
Yep. Well, I think I'm going to go nuclear on this.
Okay.
Let's see. How do I want to do this? If I knew where my wireless Dremel was,
I was just going to say cordless Dremel. Go for it.
Yeah, because that would be the easiest way. It's just, oh, I found it.
This is a pretty thick 3D print. Oh, we got the same Dremel.
Yeah, that's the one I use for easy peasy stuff.
The Dremel Light.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like that one.
The only thing is, I'd like to go a little smaller on the bit. Unfortunately, it's a one size fits all on this thing.
Chuck. Well, yeah, you can get an adjustable chuck for that. That'll take smaller bits.
I should probably get one of those.
They're pretty cheap on Amazon, like sub $10.
Yeah. The only problem is that's not going to come in time for me to do this tonight.
No,
So,
you need Amazon yesterday.
Yeah, that's I need the wibbly wobbly timey wimey version of Amazon. The one where they
up the big drill.
Yeah, where they anticipate what you needed.
Yeah.
And shipped it to you before you ordered it.
A stand-up comedian did a great bit on, like, he's like, we now have Amazon Now, and you order it and they bring it to your house in 2 hours. He's like, I want pre-Amazon. Deliver it before I order.
Uh-huh.
He was a very funny comedian out of, I think, Singapore. He was hilarious.
I wandered a little bit. That's okay.
It always happens. That's why God invented paint.
Well, it's on the inside.
Yeah. Well, is there a clear lens that goes over that?
I'm going to be filling it with resin.
Okay. So, yeah, no worries.
There we go. That just saved me a bunch of time.
More power. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Just going to blow that out. And the holes might be big enough for all 3 wires to fit through.
Using like a magnet wrapping wire?
Yeah, well, 30 gauge.
Yeah.
For all the, like, anything that's not heavy duty here.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it'll all fit through. So are you in post video in the post video upload lull?
Yeah. The Tony and her mother are flying in. They land around midnight. So I'm just sort of bumping around. I got nothing else to do. So
sometimes I find once I've posted a video, it's hard to get started again. Because it's like you watch how well it does in the first little while and you're checking it and seeing, and it's hard to move on.
Oh no, I don't really care. I just the U-96, the amount of little details that Todd forces me to paint by having his tutorials, I'm just like, okay, I'm done for the night. That's it.
Forces you.
Yeah. I could have worked on another model tonight, I guess, but it's the weekend. I don't want to stress myself out, you know? Want to enjoy it.
Enjoying the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
I had to work all day today.
Yeah, odd concept. Weekends. Well, of course you had to work today.
Well, I wouldn't normally work on a Saturday, but we have an organization that is using our facility for a large concert. And so I needed to be there for when the band arrived for load-in and setup, because they need to know how to connect to our speakers and our amps and
yeah, I figured you were there for AV supervision.
How to connect to our our video projector and all that kind of stuff. So our lighting system, how to control our in-house lighting with their controllers and stuff like that. So
Yeah. That makes sense. Anytime I went to a church for a prospect client meeting, their primary priority for anything technology related was always audio video. The network was secondary,
well,
as
probably
long as they could live stream.
because it's front facing.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
people
it was always
see,
AV.
right?
Yeah.
Let's see. We're gonna do a test on these lights now. They will go blue because the first 39 LEDs in the chain are chiller grills, but that's fine. That'll just test to make sure that these are working properly before I... Oh,
And Casey said, did you find out if the band is from Murfreesboro?
they are not. It's the sound guy that is from that area.
All right.
Okay, so it worked for a moment, but I wonder if I pinch something getting them in there.
Bumped
Through the
it.
one hole.
Yeah. You got shrink tube on the connectors?
They're so small. It's really difficult to get shrink tube on that.
Ah.
Oh, actually, I know why it's not working. Let me reinstall it here. I didn't put actual power to it.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah, so the actual power line to power the LEDs themselves. The Raspberry Pi is connected, and it's got power to run, but power to actually light. Oh, and a wire came undone.
Back to the soldering.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to just need to open these holes a little bit more too, so that I don't run into that problem.
Yeah,
That's
make it
fine.
a little more oval.
Yeah, I'll just increase the... Actually, what I might do is switch over to the bit for the Dremel and just make them bigger holes, because I'll just seal them up afterwards with a little bit of solar res. But at least the pilot holes are in there.
You know, definitely get the adjustable chuck.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Yeah, don't buy the Dremel brand.
What's
Buy
that?
the Chinesium. No, don't buy the Dremel brand adjustable. Buy the Chinesium brand.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's actually it runs with less run out.
That's weird. That's behaving a little oddly.
Oh, rocket. Oh. I have gaseous anomalies over here.
What's that?
Gaseous anomalies.
Oh, Rocket there?
Yeah, Rocket's here.
Rocket Man.
Oh, he just ejected a nebula from his rear end.
Ah, give me one moment. I'm going to step outside and blow all the dust off of this part.
Alrighty.
I've currently got the support arm for the second Enterprise outside with paint on it, drying, so that it can be attached to the lower secondary hull.
Now, is that one that you fabricated, or was that a kit part?
Oh no, it's one of the fabricated ones. So exactly the same as the first one, just
okay.
Do rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
But
Let's see, Paul.
they're handmade, right? So they are, each one is just a little bit different from the, like, so it'll be a little bit different from the first one.
Paul Tackett just showed up. Greetings, geeks. Hey, Paul.
Welcome to the stream. Thanks.
We
for
met
stopping
him at
in.
Wonderfest. He was in the hospitality suite
Nice.
with the big lightsaber.
Okay, I don't know if I was there at the time.
Oh yeah, no, Paul's cool. And Casey's saying hi to Paul.
All right, so I'm gonna
And
set up
Fallen
my...
Ghost, is that Tommy? I think.
I am horrible with
Howdy.
remembering who
I know.
is associated to what real name.
I'm so bad. Cripple Asian gay Jew. Yes, Paul. Oh my God. Yeah, Paul had the rollator with a rainbow lightsaber, which was awesome. He let me try his lightsaber prop. Let's not confuse things. Yeah.
This is strange. I'm not getting power to my solder station. Let's try that again. Oh, ha!
Yeah, Paul,
There's
that's
a switch.
me.
There's a switch on the back. I have to press the switch on the back before I can turn it on.
Well, you know, the
ID10
switches are there for a reason, right, Andrew?
Yeah, ID10 TR.
Yeah, that's me, Paul. I'm just producing for Andrew tonight.
I'm assuming that you experience a lot of ID10 errors in your line of work.
Oh, many. Most of them now are my employees.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing again? Right, I am resoldering.
Yeah.
That means I need some omni-thingamajiggies. Let me grab some omni-thingamajiggies. There we go. I still have the base attached to it from the trip to Wonderfest. Typically don't keep it with the base attached, but had it there for transporting.
Paul loves his Yiddish. Paul, I don't speak Yiddish. I hate to break it to you, but I know that's good week or good day. I hope you had a good week or good week, something like that. I don't know a lot. Good something. Oh, Paul, look at this, Andrew.
One moment.
He's super chatting.
Super chat. Well, thank you very much. He says, thanks for everyone for inspiring me. Well, I'm glad that you're inspired.
Yeah, Paul, it was awesome meeting you at Wonderfest. Yeah, good week. Okay, I got it right. But Paul, don't expect me to translate all the Yiddish. I'm not good at it. My dad used to say a lot of things when I was a kid, but when I go to temple, I'd hear things, but I didn't always know what the heck they were talking about.
You'd hear things, huh?
Well, yeah. So, you have Sunday school, Andrew, right? The kids go to Sunday school.
Yeah.
Well, in the Jewish culture, it was on Saturday.
Yeah.
Do you know what else was on Saturday, Andrew, in the U.S.? Mornings.
Probably some sort of sports ball.
No, all the good cartoons for kids.
Oh, Saturday morning. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Saturday mornings was all the good cartoons, and we had to go to Hebrew school, and we had to learn to read the Torah and all this other stuff. And it was miserable. Hebrew. I Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. I learned the very basics, and it's all forgotten now. But Borei Pri Hagufin, then you could have some Manischewitz wine. So we were all really upset children because we were in Hebrew school on a Saturday morning missing our cartoons, and there was no VCRs or DVRs or streaming. It was over. You got to school Monday, you never saw it. So it was very bad socially. So when we had our annual fundraisers at the Hebrew school at the temple, our teacher would be in the dunk tank. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So if you could hit the target, you would dunk the teacher in the tank.
And you'd be the hero.
So all of the students, we would go to our parents and like, give me $5. They're like, but it's only 25 cents a try. It's like, I'm going to hit it every time. Give me $5.
Good
And
fundraising.
we would dunk him over and over and over. And the next weekend, one weekend he got so pissed off because one of the kids in the class, Jeremy Weiner, threw a supermarket plastic shopping bag up the ceiling fan in the class, and it got caught in the blades. The blade snapped off, hit the teacher in the head, split his forehead open, and he was this overweight, balding man with a bad attitude. He started throwing chairs at us. Hebrew school was terrifying.
Well, let me tell you that broken ceiling fans due to things being thrown at them is not a unusual thing where either kid or teenage boys are involved.
Yeah. Oh, Steven's here now. We got another viewer. Greetings. Programs. Welcome to the grid. I got the Tron reference there, Steven.
Plugging this in, and I almost plugged the ship power into the wrong side of the breadboard. So I would have been wondering why it wasn't working again.
Nope. Oh, Steven. Paul, yeah, we don't have to work on my Yiddish, but I can make an attempt. So,
just going to try to
guys,
this so that you can see if the impulse engine works.
Yeah. I know Paul's into Star Wars based on his cripple rainbow lightsaber, as he says.
Yeah, I miss seeing the lightsaber.
Oh, it was cool. It would just kind of like ripple with rainbow colors.
Yeah.
And I have my Ghostbusters belt gizmos have a rainbow flash mode on them, which is pretty cool.
Okay, apparently I plugged the deflector dish in again instead of the impulse.
Whoops. Oopsie.
Not a difficult fix.
Yes.
Here we go. So we doubly know the impulse deck works. I mean,
yes.
The deflector deck works.
Oh, Howard's here. Howdy, Howard.
Welcome. How's it going?
Yep. Dash is in the house. Hey, Dash, someone beat you to the first super chat.
It's Paul not a contest.
It's not. But Paul's here. We met Paul at Wonderfest, and he's a cool dude. Paul likes Trek also. All right.
Here we go. So we've got functioning impulse deck. Perfect.
Ooh, okay.
It's blue again.
Blue.
Well, but yes, because the
RGB sequence, right?
Yeah, the scene that is currently in the Raspberry Pi has the chiller grills as the first 39 LEDs in the set. So I'm just using that just to make sure that they work. I've already tested these LEDs for 24 hours with the color they're supposed to be. So I'm not worried about burning them in or anything like that. Just wanting to make sure that everything is functioning before I pour resin into here.
Let's see. Howard's starting a burn pile bonfire. Any wood boats or models?
Smell somebody starting a bonfire around here somewhere. I'm going to have to close my garage doors here in a moment.
Ian's refit into the fire. No, not yet, Howard. I haven't doomed it to eternity yet.
So I'm just sealing in the holes I made. So when I backfill the deflector here, it will not leak all over the place.
Yeah.
There we go. Give me one moment. I'm just going to close the garage door because there's smoke coming in.
Paul said the only thing from Star Wars are ships and lightsabers. I mean, there's characters, but yeah, mostly ships and lightsabers. Lucas sucks. Well, he sold the baby to the slavers, as he said it. And Paul, yeah, it's blue. So Paul, the blue impulse engine is because the first 39 RGB LEDs in Andrew's program are for the chiller grills.
Yeah.
So they're all blue. He's just doing a base test right off the board, and everything has to be wired in sequence because they're addressable RGBs, right, Andrew?
Yep. You
So
got it.
number 40 may be white or red or
40
yellow.
through 48 are red.
Yeah. So you have
They're
blue for the
Bizards.
chiller. Yeah, and then the Bassards, and then you have.
Then it goes another 39 blue, and then another 9 red, and then it's Windows.
And then a lot of white.
I don't have this memorized.
No, not at all. No. God forbid. Doesn't sound like you obsess over this at all.
Or I've spent any time working on it.
No. Let's see. Howard said, let's see. Good, because I don't want to dash today. Maybe I'll do it later this month. Yeah, that's fine, Howard. No worries. There's no requirements ever. Rogue One was good. We all agree. That was an excellent movie. And Steven said Rogue One was great. And Paul goes, that was a Disney film. Oddly enough, it was. But Rogue One, I liked it. And I'm a big critic of the later Star Wars films, but I really enjoyed Rogue One.
Ooh, that's hot.
Oh, well, it's a. Yeah.
That curing resin is nice and hot.
You got to pulse it, you know? You're not supposed to go all at once.
Oh, I didn't. But I might not have left enough time in between.
You should have a blowgun handy to cool it off.
That's okay. I can let this part sit now that those lights are installed.
Well, I can tell you from experience, when resin prints get hot or humid or both, they warp a lot.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that part warping.
Okay.
In that location.
Well, those are higher quality prints than off a regular, consumer 3D printer.
And while I've got this part here, I might as well create the aperture for the photon launcher.
Yeah, thank God it didn't start smoking. Yeah.
This is a Canadian Starship stream, not a Aligning the Stars stream. We don't get the magic blue smoke here.
Fingers crossed.
Well, we're not running any voltages that would cause any problems.
Well, not to besmirch Jordan at all, but I mean, was it really his fault?
Could have been the green strawberry board he was working with.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was his doing. I think it was a inadequately written wiring diagram instruction.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you hit something with 12 volts. Woo boy.
Well, when I was doing the first Enterprise E, and
no shade, Paul.
I wasn't using the addressable LEDs yet. I was using a Tenna controls board.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the cluster of 3mm LEDs for the Buzzards. I wrongly assumed or believed that they were resistored on the board.
Yeah, that's a problem with tenant controls is the board has some leads that are pre-resistored and some that are not. And if you don't pay very close attention to that diagram, you will smoke some diodes. I just found that odd with Tenna because I have the Bluetooth mega board for the refit, Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the leads you do not add resistors to LEDs. And then other ones, they'll like add resistors. And I'm like, why? Because you're powering them directly off the main 12-volt input. And the negative is the switched lead, not the positive. And it always, you got to be very careful with Tenna controls.
But now I use 5-volt USB.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to mess that up.
Oh, with red LEDs, I mean, they'll only take 1.8 volts before they cook. Two volts max.
Just going to run outside and blow this off again. Keep the particles outside. Oh, wait, no. I'll just move to the other side of the room. I closed the garage door. Forgot. All right, so we've got LEDs installed into the impulse deck, into the deflector, and we have the aperture drilled all the way through for the fiber for the photon launcher.
There you go.
Keith says, thanks for the heads up on Tenna. Got the Tenna board for my Chronos 1 build.
Yeah, just really keep an eye on the wiring diagram. That's all I can say.
All right, let's see. I need to keep a close eye on the time because I have to end at 11 because I have to go back to work tonight.
Well, I got to leave at about 10:20 to do epilepsy meds for Rocket.
Yeah. All right. I need to go in and shut down the Raspberry Pi before I forget and accidentally unplug it. Without
will it brick itself or something?
It's not good if you do that. I mean, it's not guaranteed that you'll have a problem, but it's not recommended to not shut it down properly.
Okay, Paul's asking what's the plan for the reflector dish?
What's the plan for the deflector?
Well, yeah, deflector, yeah.
So it gets painted the kind of yellowy mustard orange, and then it gets the actual dish installed inside that, which is a bit more of a burnt orange color, as seen here. And the light basically goes out around. So it's lit from behind, and it goes out around this central dish, and you get the blue glow over top of the mustardy, yellowy orange on the dish housing. What was I doing? Right, shutting down the Raspberry Pi.
Yep.
So I got to go into the controller. And options, shut down. Yes, shut down. So I'll let that go for about 30 seconds before I shut it down. But in the meantime, we're going to make some solar res glass tonight.
Nice.
Because I need to make some conference room windows for this second Enterprise D. And hopefully I can do this without destroying more than a couple of these microscope slides. They can be a real challenge to get apart.
Paul said
Actually,
cool.
what I'm going to do is grab some of the UV tape. And put it on the end so that I've got a bit of a barrier, a way of separating this once it's done. So I'm going to put some solar res down on the microscope slide as such. I'm going to sandwich it between the two slides and hit it with UV light. Just
Watch
enough.
the magic, Paul.
Solar res glass, yeah. Let's see. I might need a screwdriver to separate this.
And Steven's very excited about seeing another demo of this technique.
Oh, I broke the glass.
Uh-oh. So, Andrew, you're sandwiching two pieces of microscope glass.
Yeah.
And putting some solar res in the middle and curing it.
Yep.
And then separating the glass.
I'm going to start that again because that didn't... Sometimes that happens where it just will not separate.
Yeah.
Usually if I hit it a little bit too long with the UV.
Still 2-0 Florida. End of second.
All right.
And glass is a bitch to cut.
2,
yes,
3, 4, 5. So what this does is it creates a malleable, optically clear sheet. Except it's not cooperating tonight.
You should probably be wearing cut-resistant gloves for this, I think.
Something's going weird tonight on it.
You're rushing?
I'm not sure. I mean, could be anything from temperature, barometric pressure. Who knows what? I need it to be glass on. I need it to be glass on glass because I need it to be super optically clear. But I'm going to try again with the UV.
Yeah, Paul said humidity. Yep.
Yeah.
Possibly. It's summer now. The last time we did this was months ago.
Yep. When it works great. And the thing is the reason I'm doing this is because I have to mold the clear around some compound curves, and using this allows me to keep it pretty much optically clear as I do that. It will not distort.
Yeah, Paul said he's still learning. By the way, I am learning. Yes.
Yeah, it is not having it tonight.
It's got to be way more humid there right now than it was.
Yeah.
When's the last time you did that? 5 months ago? 4 months ago? During the winter?
Yeah. The actual glass is being a lot more brittle tonight.
Oh, maybe an X-Acto blade to separate them? Or, oh, I got an idea, Andrew. Wax the glass.
Well, anything I put on the glass affects the quality of the material.
No, I mean wax the glass and then polish off the wax. Just so it has some kind of coating. Or silicone lubricant. A silicone lubricant with just the wipe and then wipe it off. It'll leave a it'll leave an invisible film. Just troubleshooting.
Yeah, I might have to. I'm going to try something here.
I would lubricate the glass, I think. It's kind of like spraying Pam when you're baking cookies. You know? Keep it from sticking. It's my idea. But, I'm a moron. Oh, going to full tape. Similar concept.
Yeah, if I can get it smooth enough.
Yeah, Paul, wax. Paul said wax on wax in theory sounds good. Yeah, I don't know.
I would also have to have some in stock.
You don't have car wax?
No.
You have a candle?
Birthday candles count?
Any candle, doesn't matter. You could rub a crayon in that thing. I mean, and then just wipe it off with a paper towel. Anything would probably work. But the tape might work. That's a good idea, too. Does the UV tape... Oh, no. UV tape allows the UV light through, so you should be good. Birthday candle, non-scented wax. Yeah, Paul. Everybody's got some kind of candle. Tea lights. The wife always has a box of tea lights in the house somewhere.
So far, the perspective of separating this is positive.
Because you're only partially curing the resin. It's still flexible, right?
Yeah, and it has to be in order to
mold it. Yeah.
Interesting. The glass still broke,
But
but
the
it's
tape's
being
going to hold it.
contained by the...
I'm going with lubricant. Like rub a little WD-40 even. Anything. Unless the tape captures the piece of resin.
Of course, it's acting up because I'm doing it live on camera.
No, of course. Yeah, Paul said tape the outside of each slide to add strength to the glass. That's not a terrible idea. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not happy with how it's turning out using the tape.
Yeah, I'm going lube. Put some schmoo on there.
Okay, if it doesn't work this time, I might just give up for the night on it because it could just be atmospheric.
Humidity. I would say carnauba wax or silicone lubricant and wipe it across the glass and polish it off before you put on the resin. My vote.
We'll let it sit there for a minute.
By the way, Paul, this worked perfect in the winter
Yeah.
when it was probably 20% humidity or less.
I'm also approaching this a little bit differently, which looks like this might be actually be the solution.
Using the paper card to separate them?
It's the plastic card from Gary at
Yeah.
Mask Design.
You just don't want to mar up the resin.
Haha!
There we go.
That's the ticket. So it's a piece of solar res, super sheet thin, that will conform to the shape I need it and maintain
Yeah, Paul, it's got to be humidity going on, causing the stiction.
Okay.
Oh, he's got it.
Woo!
Success.
Like, see how clear that is. You can still see the
Oh yeah, we
Mask
see it.
Design, but through there. Nice. So that's my that's the key. If in the summertime is I have to use the card to separate them.
I would still do a test with silicone lubricant.
The thing is, anything I introduce damages the optical clarity. So now I'm just pressing it into.
Well, your fingerprints are going to add texture, aren't they?
They didn't last time.
Okay. And the rubber handle of the pliers, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I used this last time as well. I'm just going to slowly press it.
Go to bed, Steven. It's 3 a.m. over there.
Have a good night if you're heading out.
He's not.
No. Yeah, so this allows a clear window around the these compound curves and maintains the clarity of the material, so that when you look through to see the amazing paint job Donnie did, you can actually you can actually see it. I'm going to trim off at the base of the conference room here. I'll probably just need to snip that off with scissors.
I've got a black and white furry potato sleeping behind me on the floor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Rocket's sleeping. Problem is, he still farts when he sleeps. Oh, Paul just said, how are there ads in a live stream? Paul, that's because Andrew is monetized and you don't have YouTube Premium. So you're still going to see an ad every now and then. It's an unfortunate side effect of our society. Yeah.
And I've got it like, if I've got it set to hopefully be as minimally intrusive as possible, but you can never really trust YouTube to actually,
as do we all,
hold up their end of that bargain.
Well, people watch my videos, they see ads.
And the problem is if I don't, if it's not like if I don't choose to monetize, they're going to put ads in anyway, probably. So
Yeah, there's always going to be ads. Once you're over like 500 or 1,000 subs, even if you don't monetize, there's ads.
yeah. So I might as well
you
get the
20
benefit of it.
cents. Yeah, exactly. You know, my whopping, well, let me check here. Hold on. Let me see the status. What's the monthly earnings? My $70 a month from almost 5,000 viewers. Yeah, it's silly. Paul's poor, LOL. I had to sign up for YouTube Premium, Paul. I was just getting too fed up with the ads. But I did family, so like I added my wife, I added my mother-in-law. Oh, Rocket. Oh God, he's asleep and still farting. Oh, good God.
Well, successfully installed.
Oh,
Optically
nice.
clear on the. I don't know if you'll be able to.
Look at that.
Oh,
no, tilt it. There we go. Oh, that looks great.
even if I do that, you can see the lettering in behind.
That's better than a piece of Coke bottle.
So you can see the whatever that text is on the mat. The
Yeah.
A3. You can still see it through there.
Yep. That came
There
out
we
nice.
go.
Worth the effort.
Well, and the biggest effort on that tonight was getting the SolarEs glass to function properly. Now,
Oh, I just had to fire up the fan to like. I have the spray booth vent fan on now to suck out the farts.
There you go. It's time to go do meds.
Oh no, 15 minutes. He's on a 10:30 p.m. schedule now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I still got a little while, but yeah, I just fired up the Pace Peacekeeper spray booth to suck out the fart smell. Oh my God. Whew. Well, it's good for lacquer paint and dog farts, apparently, also. Rocket, what did you eat?
Only whatever you gave him, probably.
Oh, just the kibble. Rocket. Well, English bulldogs are notorious for their gaseous anomalies. The Enterprise will still be charting them in the year 5000.
Just think of Star Trek 6. What about all that equipment we've got on board for charting gaseous anomalies?
Yeah. A photon torpedo's coming for Rocket any minute now. It's got a heartbeat, Jim.
So using the card has completely solved the issue.
Yeah, you had too much of a thick wedge that was cracking the glass, right?
So I've got another piece made here. Since I'm on a roll with it, figure might as well throw it into. Oh, that's the wrong piece. That's the upper saucer. I need the lower saucer. So the last one I did, I filled these windows with SolarEs, but I'm thinking this time around, I'm going to need a slightly bigger piece for that. But I'm thinking I'm going to just back them with SolarEs glass.
Yeah.
And then just put some, just frost them from the back. I think that's going to look better.
There you go.
So I just have to make it and then trim it to the right size. So just be a little bit of trial and error here on cutting it.
It's nothing like the next ship I'm building.
What's the next ship you're building, Grissom?
The Orca from Jaws.
Oh.
1/16 scale Orca from Agora.
An Orca from Agora?
Yes. Did you see the movie Jaws?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, sure. I won't hold it against you.
I don't think I've actually watched it.
I mean, it's a classic.
Oh, I know. I'm well
Yeah.
aware of it.
I mean,
And-
this year was the 40th, the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware. I don't know if I've ever actually sat down and watched it.
You scared to go in the water?
Oh no.
Well, you don't live on the coast, right? So,
No, we are landlocked here.
yeah, no, Jaws was a big deal, man. I mean, that was a big deal, especially if you lived in New York, because like the basis of the story of Jaws was actually a true life story of a great white shark that ended up in an inland waterway in New Jersey and was attacking people.
Of course,
So, yeah.
it's based on a true story.
I mean, it's loosely based because then they moved it to Amity Island, and it seemed like it was, Long Island, New York, and like on a other island off of Long Island. It was a little island. They took some creative
As they do.
but as they do, and dramatized it obviously a lot. But yeah, it's loosely based, very loosely on a true story. Paul said a workaround. Howard said, so you're getting to have this one ready for Wonderfest 348 days. Get busy, Mr. Andrew.
Yeah.
Paul said Jaws was too scary. Howard just said Tostitos. Yeah, I have Tostitos, Howard, but Rocket's already farting up a mushroom cloud of devastation down here. Ghost said bull shark, not a great white. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what type of shark, but yeah, it was a shark.
Oh,
It was New Jersey. It was inland waterways, and it did attack people. And then they turned it into one of the best horror thriller movies of all time ever made. So yeah, so I got the crew shirt and the patch for the Jaws themed stuff from Wonderfest. So I have the Amity Island Quinn's Fishing Tours patch, and I have the Our Shark Works Wonderfest crew shirt this year. And my first Jaws video, once I start getting that Agora model, I'm going to be wearing that. But a ship is a ship, Andrew.
is it plastic?
It is
Metal?
plastic and die cast.
Okay.
So it'll be metal and die cast. There may be a little bit of rope rigging. And I may look into getting, I don't know if you know about the big barrel floats when they're shark hunting. They would shoot a spear into the shark and have something that looked like a beer barrel, but it was a plastic, beer barrel shaped float to kind of keep the shark from submerging.
Okay.
And kind of the premise of the movie. I don't want to spoil it, but they had a few of those. They had like 4 or 5 of them on the ship. And I'm wondering how realistic they will be because I may 3D print and then use twine and like make my own hyper realistic float barrels and add a little weathering and detail painting to the model, obviously. But it should be cool.
So it's a part works though?
It is a part works, yes.
Okay.
I mean,
well, when you said Agora, I was kind of assuming it was, but I didn't really
oh, it's always going to be a part works with them, yeah. I think the least part work Agora has is the wooden USS Constitution, the oldest commissioned battleship in the world. But I don't do wooden models.
These windows are going to be too clear.
Too clear?
Oh yeah, because they're going to be like crystal clear. I'm gonna have to back them with some diffusion material.
Do you have frosted glass spray paint?
I do. I also have like diffusion material, like a essentially lighting gel.
Yeah.
Light diffuser material.
Yeah, I would just spray them with frosted glass, to be honest. I mean,
Because look how, let me see if I can get this. Look how clear the saucer deflector is there.
I don't even see a window in there, dude.
Yeah, that is way too clear.
It looks like there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with this.
Yeah, let me catch up on chat here. Jaws was okay. Full shark. Howard said, so how close do you need to really be to see Donnie's paintwork on those interior parts? Very, very close, I think, right?
Yeah, because they're pretty small windows, right? But if you get just the right angle, you can really see them. It was hard to show at the show, like at Wonderfest, because it was up high on a cart.
It was on an AV cart, basically, right?
Yep.
And is it Tommy? I'm sorry if following Ghost. 6 people, if I remember correctly. The author said years later he regretted writing it. So yeah, the shark attacked 6 people. I don't know if they all died, but yeah, there was a lot of shark attacks that year in Jersey. The resonator comes out once again.
There we go. And now that I'm using this piece of this plastic card, I'm able to reuse the slides multiple times.
Oh, the one that doesn't break, right?
Yeah, well, since I've been using the card, they haven't broken at all.
Oh, okay. So you could have technically probably gotten away with like an automotive spark plug feeler gauge set. I don't know if you know what that is.
I do not.
So a spark plug feeler gauge is kind of like, it looks like a Swiss Army knife.
Uh-huh.
And there's little thin strips of metal that you flip out of it that are in hundreds of thousandths of an inch thickness differences. So you got 10 thou, 20 thou, 30 thou of thickness. And it's for gapping spark plugs.
Okay.
But that's basically what you're doing right now, is that plastic card is just the right amount of thous thick that it'll separate the glass and not break them. Oh my God, really? All in one strip? No, you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, I could trim this part off, and I might do that, or I could just like press it in because it's malleable, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize you were doing the straight windows that way too. That's cool.
I can just press it in and make it fit. But I think I'm gonna trim it off.
Yeah. Howard, there's no wood in the Orca from Agora. Or if there is any wood, it's very minimal. Straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, Casey has an update on the game for you, Andrew. 3-0 Florida, 14:48 left in the third.
Yeah, they're going to lose. That's fine.
Like, hockey doesn't have high scores. It's like soccer.
Well, no, because it's not easy.
I get it. It's a long time to try to get a goal. So yeah, the lowest scoring games are all international or Canadian derived. In the US, we have high scores. Basketball, it's like 100 to 130, and baseball, it's like 7-13, and
Well,
football it's like 47-12.
Basketball may have been developed in the U.S., but it was developed by a Canadian.
Oh, okay, but that's a high scoring game. That let's see, Alex here. Hey, Alec.
Hello. Are you working?
He's on his break. He's got 10 minutes. Can it be August yet? And can I go home yet? I'm sorry. No, Alec, you cannot go home yet unless you quit your job. Oh, Casey said 3-1 now. 12:36 left. Nail biter.
Now, it would be a nail biter if it was Toronto who was up, because Toronto is really good at losing a 4-point advantage in the last 5 minutes of a game.
Sounds like the New York Mets. They'll be on a heater all season, like first place in the division, and then just blow it all.
Don't get me wrong. I think it would be great if Toronto actually won something, but they're not ever going to win anything.
You sound just like a Mets fan.
Well, I'm not a Toronto fan. Oh.
Did you get your decal pusher? Who is ordering the decal pusher?
Decal pusher? What's that?
Oh, maybe that wasn't you. That might have been somebody else in the Discord. A little silicone decal pusher.
Oh, I use my finger.
I use the cuticle pushers. They have a silicone tip on them. That's dead smooth.
I could see how that would be helpful.
Yeah, you get a bag of them on Amazon for like, $4 or something. You get a bag of like 50 or 100.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a smooth, tapered, angled silicone tip on a little handle. And it's for, I guess, nail salons, but they're really good for pressing and burnishing things down. They're very handy for that. They'd be great for pushing down your windows, actually. You should probably order a set. I could send you a link.
Pushing down the windows. Oh, you mean these?
Yeah. Burnishing them down, pressing them into place. Let me get a link. I'll DM it to you over on Discord, Andrew.
Sure.
There we go. 30 pack for how much? 30 pack for $5.49 on Amazon. You can probably find the equivalent on Amazon.ca. So I'll just send you what I have here.
Yeah, using my little chisel blade, it's too thin. I need the thickness of the card.
Yeah, I sent you a link, direct message on Discord, Andrew.
Yeah, I saw something pop up in the corner of my eye.
Yeah, those are they're useful for so many things. I keep one on the workbench at all times. They're just handy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, using this card is just making it work so much better.
Yeah, I can see. Let's see. What did Paul say? The Cubbies are the bestest hockey team. LOL. Oh, God.
What now?
The Cubbies. I think he's making a Chicago Cubs baseball joke, but Chicago Cubs are like cursed. They won one World Series, and it actually disappointed the fans because they're like, no, we were the fans who never won a World Series. And now they won one, and they're like, we had a record of never winning.
Yeah, but didn't they win it the year that Back to the Future said they would?
Oh my God, you're right. I think they did. Let me see.
Was it like 2015?
I'm going to Google that. I'm shocked you knew trivia from a movie other than Star Trek.
I've seen other movies.
They did not win 2015. They won in 2016.
2016?
Yeah, they won the year after
Okay.
that the movie predicted.
Still, that's pretty close.
Yeah, it's like The Simpsons. You know, The Simpsons predict the future all the time.
Yeah, but The Simpsons do it to a whole nother level. Like,
oh yeah, they're creepy accurate.
Actually, showing Trump taking the escalator down exactly the way he ends up doing it, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is creepy. But yeah, Chicago Cubs. Let's see what we got here. So Casey's asking, who's your team, Andrew?
So I don't greatly follow it during the regular season, just because I don't have time to. And I'd much rather watch hockey live than on TV. But it would be Ottawa.
And who is Ottawa? What's the name?
Senators.
Oh, okay. Alec.
They also don't win anything either most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, Alec, I posted. I didn't get to the engine yet, Alec, on the U96. Go Cubbies. Let's see. Casey says 4-1 now, 11:40 left. I think that game is over. And people are arguing over pizza and baseball teams, and Wisconsin with the cheese and beer and tools, and Wrigley Field and Mighty Ducks. And okay. There we go. We've gone into randomness. The chat is lively, though. Yes. Well, you got 18 people watching, man. That's pretty good.
When you can only be entertained by watching me make solar res glass for so long.
I mean, 18's not bad at all. Steven's out for the night. Adios.
All right,
Steven
have a good night.
Later, buddy. Your
Bonsoir.
package should be there by the 19th, 20th, I think. Something like that. Go Red Wings from Howard. Maybe the Lions, who've never been to the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, that one too. I don't know sports, guys. I'm at a loss. I'm the least sports fanny man in America, probably.
Yeah, I am not a big sports follower.
Paul is totally enjoying the creative process of you making windows, though.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, he likes it.
Well, this is a technique I came up with myself. I've never seen anybody else do this before.
I have never seen the microscope glass technique. And only partially curing the resin so you could peel it off and still have it flexible. And
yeah, well, I'm curing it a little bit more for these pieces because I'm not having to mold these around like a compound curve.
Yeah, but still, it's not something I've seen before. Like, I haven't seen it from Boyd. You know, rest in peace, Boyd. But it's the first time I ever saw it. Well, Alec's break is almost up. All right,
don't
Alec.
make them come looking for you.
Well, have a good rest of your shift at work.
Enjoy if you can.
And Howard said the Simpsons are really the Illuminati. I'm not going to argue that one, Howard. They really know too much. I'm not going to argue that. I don't think Andrew has an argument against the Simpsons being clairvoyant.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the Simpsons, though, you also have to keep in mind, you get a little bit of the Thousand Monkeys at Typewriters thing going on, because they've just
Mhm.
pumped out so much content over how many ever years they've been on, that within that
Yeah.
amount of time they're bound to
It-
get something quite accurate.
Yeah, but still, it's kind of creepy sometimes. A little on the odd side. All right, Andrew. Well, I got to head up and give Rocket his meds.
All right. Well, thank you for keeping track of the chat for as long as you have. It's definitely been helpful.
Yeah, Paul said it's very creepy. Yeah.
Always nice to have somebody to chat off of.
Oh yeah, of course. Good night, Paul. Good night, everybody. Adios, all. And Andrew, best of luck with the rest of the windows.
Thank you.
They're looking amazing.
If you can see them.
Yeah, I'm going to go take my special cough syrup, and I'll be useless after that.
What's that, brandy?
No, it's actually codeine cough syrup.
Oh, okay.
It's proper, like, heavy duty cough syrup from the doctor to keep me from coughing up a lung.
Well, a lot of people will hold on to their Tylenol 3s because of the codeine for coughs.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't had a cough this bad in a long time. But I'm 46 now. I'm not 26 anymore, so I guess this is par for the course, Yeah,
it's hard to believe that you're the age you are when you get there.
Well, my dad's in the in the rehab facility. He got out of the hospital, and he's he can't walk or anything like that, and he's 86. And I'm like, I'm more than halfway there.
Yeah, don't think about age too much, or you'll...
Well, you're a man of the cloth. It's a little different. But I'm well aware of my expiration date potential on this planet, and enjoying the hobbies I love. Not to be a downer, I'm not trying to be, but I'm like, I want to enjoy it. And at the same time, I'm like, if I get sick, I gotta go to the doctor, get a chest x-ray, get a bunch of prescriptions, and do the best I can. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better though than like Monday or Wednesday.
Good.
A lot better.
Well, I'm surprised. Like, I was fully expecting to get conflu once I got home, and I've been fine. It's been my family who didn't go anywhere who have been sick since I've been back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, you're in the like the school pickup, drop
School,
off,
daycare,
yeah. So you're like exposed to all those disease-ridden urchins that spawn from the loins of your followers and parishioners, and like kids are just disease magnets.
Well, it's everything that comes home from school.
Yeah. So you've got a good immune system. You might as well ride the New York City subway and lick the poles like Bart Simpson.
Ew. No, thank you.
You remember that episode? Don't lick the pole. But yeah, ever since I left New York, I get sick more often. But yeah, that being said, let's see. Later, Ian. Okay, next time, Paul. Howard got an email that he has a package coming from me. Yes, Howard, you do. There's no farts in it. I guarantee you, Howard. There's just swag.
Things you have to be aware of.
Yeah. I sent Howard a box of goodies. So yeah. Adios, everybody. I'll see you next time. Later, Andrew.
Yep.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'm certainly going to have to be mindful of the time tonight because I have to go back to work after live stream and make sure things are being torn down that are supposed to be torn down and not torn down that are not supposed to be torn down. All right, Ghost, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Hope you have a good night. Let's see. Dash says, I saw a guy yesterday who looked like the black guy from Hot Tub Time Machine. I can't recall his name. And Andrew, I saw Phil use a microscope slide for his Super 2 windows. Yeah, I think people have been using have been cutting slides or using slides as actual windows, but I haven't seen anybody make windows with solar res like this before. I've had a look to see, but I haven't. Oh, and I've lost a piece. I've lost a piece. I don't know where it went. Got to be around here somewhere. Well, I'll use the one from the other side. Sounds like a strike. I'm not sure what that means, unless you're talking about bowling or baseball. Oh, my job sounds like a strike. No, there's a there is a our facility has been rented out for a big concert, and so I have to go and make sure that everything is only what they're supposed to tear down has been torn down, and what they're not supposed to tear down for striking the stage hasn't been torn down. So, yeah. I had another piece of solar res glass here that was meant for one of these windows, and it has completely disappeared on me. The problem is this stuff is so clear, it's impossible to see. Oh well, I will just cut une autre piece. There we go. Because I had cut two pieces, laid them out like this, and the other one just kind of disappeared. It's probably attached to me somewhere. More than likely. A strike is when you yeah. Sorry, when you said strike, I was thinking like Canada Post being on strike or something like that. Dash says, and Andrew, Donnie, and Todd didn't get any con crud because they were too tall or short. They were in the exclusion zone. Yeah, possibly. Quite possible. All right. Let's see. This piece is going in over here. I've been fairly fortunate this year to avoid a lot of the stuff that's gone around. Go. Let's see. Dash says it's a clear looking piece. I know that's all. Yeah. And let's see if I Sente Ranger Donnie. Hopefully I got that right. Hello at Canadian Starships and all, and happy National Flag of the United States of America Day. Hope everything is well despite the passing of a beach boy. Well, I had no idea it was a National Flag of the United States Day. If you're celebrating, happy National Flag of the United States Day. Yeah, being in Canada, I don't know that. And it says the second syllable is pronounced like Thai. Oh, Sentai. Okay, got it. Thank you. Well, welcome to the stream. We're going to go for about another 15 minutes, and then I have to head out right on time tonight because I have to go back to work for Hopefully not too long, but I do need to go back and then sleep and then be back at work for like 7:30 in the morning tomorrow. It's one of those weekends. Right. Let's see if this piece that I've pre-cut fits anywhere. Not really. I can trim it down a little bit and fit it into one of these tall, narrow sections. Let's see if this fits. That should just about fit in there. So we'll lay down some solar res, secure it in place. Keith says, is that the resin sheet on the left side just up to the... Okay, on the left side, this is my left side, just up to the left of 3 groups of 3 windows. On the left side, just up to the left of 3 groups of windows. You might be seeing a sheen on there that I'm not seeing. So this one I know is there. I am not seeing anything on the left. I don't think so. Let's see. Sentai says, thank you. Great to be here. First time chatting. I have seen a few live streams without chatting. Well, thank you for chatting. Enterprise D is more than just my #1 starship in all generations of Star Trek, among my honorable mention IPs, but also my #1 vehicle in all pop culture. Very cool. And Keith says, I think you just picked it up. Okay. I'm not sure, but maybe. Oh, maybe it was that piece that I had sitting over here. Quite possible. Sentai says, my #2 pop culture vehicle is the Astro Megazord from Power Rangers in Space. It's also my #1 Megazord in all generations of Power Rangers, tied with Super Sentai as my #1 IP, which is obviously where you get your name from. Paul says, please sub and like the video. Well, that's always appreciated, and thank you for mentioning it. All right, let's get this piece of solar res secured in here. And in case you're wondering, I'm using solar res to secure the solar res in place. Just kind of seems like the right thing to do. And the nice thing is it'll just meld in with the solar res glass I made, and you won't ever see the solar res being used as an adhesive on the solar res. Kind of like when you add silicone to silicone, it just all joins together as one. Let's see. Indeed, since I decided to keep my real last name offline for safety purposes, yeah, that's never a bad idea. Never a bad idea. Okay, I've still got a little bit left on this piece. Might be able to get 2 tolls out of this piece if I do this right. If you're just joining us, I am using my patented, well, not really patented, but my own unique technique here to make optically clear material out of solar res. And the nice thing about it is you can use it on compound curves and press it in, and it molds to the shape of the curves without getting distorted optically, so you can still see through clearly, and which is what we did on the conference room windows, so that we can see the nicely painted conference room internal details. It's a really cool technique. I'm not just saying that because I came up with it, but just because it's come in super handy. Ian says, I'm ordering microscope glass. Well, if you don't need it right away, save it for tomorrow night so that you've got something you can order on live stream. Let's see. Sentai says, speaking of Star Trek, I'm fine with Strange New Worlds, my number 3 current Star Trek show project, ending with season 5, which makes sense to me, a 5-year mission and a change in captaincy. Yeah. And as Paul says, makes sense. All right, just keeping an eye on the time. Okay, let's cut this one to fit. And it cuts nicely with a pair of scissors, so you don't have to fight with it to cut it, the Solar Res glass. Really, I suppose you could make Solar Res glass any size you wanted if you got big enough glass pieces to sandwich it in between. The reason why I use glass, the reason why it's in the cart for tomorrow, yeah, good idea. The reason I what was I saying? What was I saying? I got distracted, but what was I saying? Yeah, so the reason I use glass, that's it. The reason I use glass is because it is the smoothest surface I can get, so that it doesn't, because if there's any distortion in the material you're using to create the glass with, that will transfer over to the Solar Res sheets. And if you want it to remain optically clear, then you want to make the Solar Res glass on as clear, smooth of a surface as you possibly can. Hence, the microscope glass. The microscope slides. When I was struggling with the microscope slides, a chunk went flying this way. So I'm going to have to keep an eye out for it so that I don't accidentally cut myself on broken glass that I'm not aware is there. All right, last piece we're going to make tonight, because I've got 9 minutes left. So we'll make one last sheet of Solar Res glass. There we go. This one's going to be a little bit of an odd shape, but that's fine. Hitting it with the UV. And I'm going a little bit longer with this than I did with the with curing the stuff that went into the conference room, just because I wanted to have the extra little bit of flexibility with the one going into the conference room, just because it had to go around those curves. There we go. Let's bring the saucer back. Alex says, one moment, please. Alex says you can even buy it immediately at the start of the stream in preparation for Chase. Yeah. And Paul says 10:51 p.m. Eastern. Yep. Well, 10:53 now. Here we go. Is that going to be wide enough? Not quite, but I can use this piece for these sections. Trim it a little bit more off. See if that fits in here. And it fits in there quite nicely. And I'm running off the side of the desk, making it hard for you guys to see what I'm doing, apparently. Just a service I provide, free of charge. Go. Hit it with the UV. And is one of these pieces going to be not quite wide enough? So what we'll do is we'll chop a piece wider. Hopefully I don't chop it too narrow here. No, that's pretty much exactly right. Just gonna cut off the bottom there, make it a bit more straight. And I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to eyeball the width I need. And that's going to be pretty much perfect there. So I'm going to get this installed, and then this will be the last. I think the last window I'm going to be able to install here on stream tonight. Hit it with the UV, secure it in place. And that's a good bit of progress done everything tonight. So I know it's probably really hard to tell where I've put SolarRes glass. It's almost hard even when I'm in person looking at it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of how many of our windows are there backed with SolarRes glass. So that is a win as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to put this aside. And let's switch up the cameras here. And let's get ready to get out of here. So thank you everyone for joining me for the live stream tonight. So what did we do? We got LEDs installed. Well, we got LEDs embedded into SolarRes in the deflector dish. We got installed into the impulse engines, and we got SolarRes glass into the conference room and a bunch of those bottom saucer large windows. So I think that's a good bit of progress tonight. So thank you everyone for joining me. If you've enjoyed the stream, make sure that you hit that like button. If you're new to my channel or you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button today. You'll make me very happy if you do. But for now, my name is Andrew, and this is Canadian Starships. Have a great night, everyone.